And I talked about doing it for a while and I finally got around to it. So basically, I ordered a roll of 40 no-date buffalo nickels, but there's a significant catch. All of them have mint marks. So these were made in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but the better coins are the ones with mint marks, more specifically the S Mint, but there's still some Denver coins that can be slightly better as well. And we're going to go and Nic-A-Date these and try to get some new dates for my Buffalo Nickel folder. That is downstairs right now. I actually don't know which dates I'm still looking for, but obviously we'll review that before we start. But I'm really excited. Hopefully we get some good coins. I'm hoping also that at least like 10 or 12 of these are the S Mint marks. We'll get a better shot at making a big find in that case. But I can't wait to open this up, do the Nicadate process, and see what happens, because often it was getting to the point where there were all of these P-Mint coins. Those were not quite as valuable once we uncovered them. It would be great then to just kind of increase my odds, get a bunch of D-Mint, get a bunch of S-Mint coins, and see what happens. So let's get into the video. And here we've got the package. Just going to tear this one open and we'll take a preliminary look at the coins inside. Looks like we might have gotten a bonus. Yep, 40 no date with mint mark with bonus. So that's not bad. I always like to include bonus stuff when I sell something, and we'll see what mint marks these bonus coins are. Like I said, we're looking for as many S mints as possible, and it looks like here we've got one D and one S. So that's a pretty good start. Gonna pour these out, and I will spare you the time of watching me show off the mint marks. But the other thing that I realized that I forgot to do is to show you the coins that we still need. So for this one, it's just gonna be a raised ground S mint, a non-raised ground S mint for 1913. 1914D is going to give us something to look for on those D mint marks, and then a 1915S would also be pretty rare. Another good coin to find would be the 1921S. 24S is also tough to get, as is the 26S. And then all of these coins I have yet to find. I think that that's more just because a lot of the no-date ones are the older Buffalo mint marks, or just Buffalo nickels. And here are all of the other coins that I haven't found. 29 and 29D I did manage to get, but I think I really want to fill up this page as well as the 24S and 26S spots. And check it out, looks like we actually did pretty well here. We have a 1913 raised ground pair of mint marks. One is 1913D, and over here I think that looks like a 1913S, so that means that we have our first 1913S and first folder filler of the day. Let's just review that S mint mark one more time. And then in terms of the coins, since we got 42 essentially, we have 9 S mint coins, which we'll do at the... Actually, we'll mix them up. We have 9 S mint coins and 31 D mint, but I realized that there's actually one coin left in this. I'll try to get that out and see, if we've got an extra S mint, but 9 of them to search for the better dates is a pretty good selection, as well as this. Hopefully we can find one of those 1914s. And some good news, that extra coin was also an S mint, so that means there's 10 opportunities at a good coin in there. Really happy. And I figured that the craziness is going to start on the S mints, so let's knock out a bunch of the D mint ones. We've got 15 right here. That one kind of looks strange, seems like a 35 anyways, but definitely looks like I might end up spending it instead of selling it in the future, but we'll start with these ones. And some really good news, it appears as though we have hit our target. I'm going to re-Nicadate it, but let's see if we can shine the light that would make it look... I think that one is in 1914, and let's see if looking at it more with you is going to convince me otherwise, because it's not coming through super well on the I feel like that does from that angle right there too. I feel like that's a 1914D Buffalo Nickel. Some of the other results though, just to show them off, we got a 35D, which is kind of cool because I hadn't in the past found anything from the 30s. So that's a folder filler. That one I think is a maybe 1916 or 18. Then we have a 1917, 1915, 1924D, which we already had. I think that one is either a 15 or a 19. Right there is a 28, which is also going to be new. So there's a folder filler. 1917D we had, and then over here it's a, I think 30, 34, 18, 15, I forget what that is, 1917 and a 1935. That one actually came out, so cool, but I'm going to re-Nicadate that and see if I can update you with a clearer looking date. But that would be awesome, because then we would have that done except for the 13 and 15S. And I feel like that actually shows a really clear 14 there as I'm Nicadating it. I think that we can see the 4 just a little bit clearer through that bubble, but we'll see how it looks when I wipe it off as well. And I accidentally left the Nicadate on for like 4 or 5 minutes, but it looks perfect. 1914 confirmed, so that's going to be a great addition to the folder. And I wonder if it's a valuable coin. It might be. So, very happy with that result. And I realized that I think we're actually going to have a shot at even an additional S-Mint. I was looking at the other D-Mints, and yeah, there's going to be 11 total S-Mint reveals in addition to the 1913S raised ground, but these are 4 of them. And I'm going to throw on the Nicadate and see if we can't hit a key date. Now, some of these are still kind of going. I think I see 1 or 2 of them through, and it might be a 1917 and 1916. There's 2 more, though, that are still kind of waiting on it. I think while we're doing that, I'm going to go over here, and those are the remaining D-Mint ones. I think that there's 14 if I counted correctly. So I'm going to go through the last of those. There's not really any dates that we're looking to hit, maybe outside of 25 or 2060. And then anything else to add to the folder would have to be, 3060, 3070, 38D, which is probably a little bit less likely, but let's go after those. And in this pile, I'm not going to go through anything that's not new, but I think we did get a 1925D, so that's actually going to be a good coin for the collection. And then over here, I think that we definitely got a 27S right there, and then that I'm not quite as sure on. I'd say I think that it looks like a 25S, but I'm going to take a closer look on that, maybe re-Nicadate it, and in the meanwhile, we'll be finishing up with this last group. But I feel like we've done really well today. We'll do a little wrap-up at the end, but this thing is definitely going to be a lot more filled out by the time we get through with this 40 mint mark roll. And here are our final 8. This one I'm not confident enough on. I mean, from that angle, sure, it looks like a 25S, but I'm just not 100% sure on it. We got the 28S, which is definitely going to be new, so that's great. And then our big find was the 1915S. That has a mintage only of 1.5 million, so one of the lowest, toughest to find out there. That's great. The other ones was 1917S, 1919S, 1920S. That was a 23S, and then another 20S, and finally, I think, yeah, the 28S that we had already gone over, but that 1915 really where it's at. So I feel like we did pretty well. Let me show you the folder in just a second. And that is pretty close to what success looks like. Obviously, I'm not going to discount the fact that the 24S and 26S are some of the rare ones out there, but we weren't really finding too many in the 20s anyways. It's pretty much all in the teens what the Nic-A-Dating is, and this roll, I mean, we got the 1913S with the raised ground, we got the 15S, we got the 14D, all these rare coins getting unveiled, and we paid 20 bucks for that roll. The rest of the coins are right there. I think we could get our money back if we tried to sell them. I don't think we'd do too much more, but I mean, the big thing is there's always that, is this really unsearched question? And in the case of these, I mean, when there's no date on the Buffalo nickel, there's not going to be a chance that they were searched. So obviously not the best way to fill out your 30s, but if you're looking for a fun time, kind of a little bit of a neat hunt to do, I think this is a great way to get after it. Thanks to the person who provided this roll. I'll show their eBay listing, because awesome to get that 1913S right there, and then a mix of other coins. So I'd consider this a success. One of my viewers is sending me a huge batch of coins that at a very affordable price, so I might check that out and see if we can't get some late additions to this, or just do some other sort of experiment. But I'm really, happy that I was able to have this. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe for more content, and get in touch with me on my website, treasuretown.yt.com, Facebook, TreasureTown, Instagram @TreasureTownYT, or Twitter @TreasureTown_YT, and I'll look forward to seeing you on some of my future vids.